Welcome to the Spine Resiliency Back Class. I'm Captain Pasco, the Chief of PT at Lister Army Health Clinic. If you are a crew member or aviator who currently has or has a history of back pain, or if you're looking for something to help prevent the onset of flying-related back pain, this class is for you. Research shows that 60% of all helicopter pilots develop back pain at some point in their career. Prolonged positioning in a cockpit, excessive vibration, and the wearing of heavy body armor and night vision goggles can decondition the lumbar spine and create deficits in mobility, strength, and endurance that generate injury. I will provide a structured 45-minute workout that focuses on stretching and conditioning exercises to prevent and manage the onset of back pain. Performing this routine 3 or more times a week can build resiliency in the lumbar spine from flying-related injuries. Let's get started. Okay, we're gonna start with the stretching program. So grab your PT belt, a mat on the floor, take the PT belt, loop it around your right foot, and lean all the way back on the mat. You can straighten out your left leg, or you can bend it, whatever's more comfortable. But you're gonna pull this leg up till you feel a stretch. If the leg is totally straight and you pull the toe towards you, you'll feel it more in the back of the calf. If you bend the knee slightly, you'll probably feel it more in the back of the thigh. Whatever stretch feels best for you, we're gonna hold that there for 45 seconds, making sure you're not crunching up at the neck. And this is the hamstring stretch. After 45 seconds, we're gonna take that same leg, move it out to the right side. So we're about 45 degrees out to the right. Some people who are super mobile can probably get super low, but hang out here and you're gonna feel the stretch down the inside part of the leg. Don't let your body twist. Again, same thing for 45 seconds. Once you stretch there, you're gonna actually let the leg fall all the way over to the left now. And ever so slightly, don't let those hips roll open. You're just keeping those hips stacked on the ground, and you should feel it down the outside part of the leg. This is technically stretching the muscle that attaches to the IT band and parts of the glutes. So I'd hold this for 45 seconds. Once you stretch there, you can let go of the strap. I'm gonna flip around so it's easier for you to see. You're gonna roll over towards your left side. Take your right knee, pull it over in front of you. Your left hand's gonna hold that knee down and you're gonna rotate open with the right arm. So if this stretches too much, you can take your arm here, you don't need to stretch it out. If you wanna stretch more in the chest, you can raise your arm all the way up by your shoulder and head. Let yourself relax into this stretch and hold for 45 seconds. So we're gonna lie on our back again. You don't need a strap just yet. Cross your right foot over your left thigh. Take your PT belt, loop it behind your left leg, and we're gonna pull that leg up towards your chest. You should feel this stretch in the outside part of your glute. You can use your hands for this, but it often helps to use the PT belt so your head and back are relaxed and you're not crunching up like this. So hold this nice and easy for 45 seconds. You can make it a bit harder by taking your right hand and pushing that right knee away. And after 45 seconds, you're gonna take the strap, loop it around your right foot, and now you're gonna roll over on your stomach. And you're gonna pull that leg up towards you, keeping those legs together. So you should feel a nice stretch in the front of your right leg, right in front of where your quad is. Make sure that if this hurts your knee, you can push those toes away just slightly, and it's gonna help the knee so it doesn't feel so compressed. The last stretch for this side after that, you're gonna place your left leg in front of you, right knee behind you. You're gonna make sure you're nice and narrow, and also making sure that you're pretty wide apart. Squeeze your glutes together, it's gonna help protect the back. And then you're gonna drive those hips forward while keeping an upright posture, and you'll feel this in the front of the right hip. And if you want a bit more of a stretch with this, you can reach that right hand up and away, holding that for 45 seconds. And then what you're gonna do is you're going to flip and do everything all over again on the left side for 45 seconds each for those stretches. Okay, so a couple more stretches to do. Once you finish the stretches with the PT belt on both sides, right and left leg, then we're gonna get up into all fours, on hands and knees in a quadruped position, making sure your hands are stacked underneath your shoulders, knees stacked underneath your hips. From here, we're gonna do a cat camel, so 10 reps total. So it's gonna look like we are rounding our spine, and then we're going to arch our back and look all the way up to the sky. We're gonna go back and forth 10 times each way. And as you do that, one position might be a bit harder than others, so you can settle into a stretch a bit more if you want. 10 reps each way. Once you do that, the last stretch, we're lying on your stomach, making sure your feet are relaxed. And without using your back muscles, we're only using the arm muscles. You're gonna gently do an extended stretch or a press up. Let your arms relax to the top and come back down. And you're gonna do 10 of those total, making sure if you wanna let your breath out at the top and then fall back down. Okay, so now we're moving into the activation segment. We wanna make sure we wake up some of the glute muscles and some of the core before we get into the conditioning aspect. Get back on the mat. We're gonna lie on your back, keep your knees bent. Feet about shoulder width apart. We're gonna start with glute bridges. The big muscle in our bum, we wanna be able to wake it up a bit so we can actually support the spine clearly and also pretty safely when we move weight. So we're gonna lie on our back, squeeze your glutes together, and you're gonna drive those hips up. Now just doing repetitions of this is gonna be a little easy, so we can make it a bit harder by staying up in the position, taking left leg off, taking right leg off, and back and forth. And if that's too easy, another alternative way is a single leg bridge, where you just have one leg on the ground, driving your hips up off the ground and back down. Doing a total of 30 reps, so maybe you start with both legs and you work into alternating and single leg. 30 reps total is your goal. You can add elevation to this as well, so you can put your feet up on something, such as a stool or a Swiss ball, and that will make it a bit harder for you. The next exercise is a quadruped. So hands and knees, wrists underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. First, we're gonna gently pull our belly button up towards our spine, which does not look like me rounding my spine. It's a gentle movement, you're activating your core. Then I'm gonna raise my right arm and my left leg together, pushing them in front of me and behind me without extending my back, without rolling open. Everything is neutral. Slowly back down. Alternate, keeping that core active, back and forth. You're doing a total of 30 repetitions or 15 each side. If raising an arm and leg together at the same time is hard, you can start with alternating arms here or alternating legs here. And the last one for the activation sequence, you're gonna roll over on your back. Now this is the dead bug. So we're doing the exact same movements, but now we're flipped over. Gravity is gonna make this a bit harder. So hands up in front of you, knees up in front of you. Same thing, you're gonna make sure you feel first an arch in your back. You're gonna gently take that away by pulling your belly button down towards your spine, gently activating your core. Same thing, we're gonna alternate and lower an arm and opposite leg, and back up, and switch, and back up. If you find that you're lowering it and your back is letting loose and you're arching your back, you've lost that core activation, so come back up and don't go quite as low for the next time. You're gonna do 30 reps total of that. Okay, so at the gym, they have this machine, it's called the GHD machine. I'm gonna show you, if you're able to use it at the gym here at Fort Rucker, how you can actually use it for the rest of the exercises, or we can use a bench. We're now moving into the endurance or conditioning aspect of the program. So first up is back extensions. So you're gonna get up into the machine, you're gonna put your feet, toes down, into the little stirrups in the back. You're gonna stretch out. So this pad should probably be like right below the hip bone. You're gonna start in this down position. You're gonna do 4 sets of this, starting with 7 reps. And each rep consists of squeezing your glutes, driving up. You're gonna hold here for 6 seconds, and then you're gonna slowly lower for 7. Squeeze up, hold for 6 seconds, slowly lower for 7 seconds. Making sure that you're not arching your back, but you're really just using those glute muscles to drive those hips up. You're gonna follow that rep scheme in the bottom of the page right now. An alternative way to do those back extensions if you don't have the machine, grab something like this big medicine ball or something soft that you can kind of anchor your hips with. You can get up to the edge of a squat rack or any machine that's about this high up off the ground. Slide those feet underneath it. Grab that medicine ball, you're gonna roll out so your hips can relax on top of it. Same exact rep scheme where you're squeezing your hips, driving those hips forward, holding for 6 seconds, slowly lowering for 7. Drive those hips, hold for 6 seconds, slowly lower for 7 seconds. And that's the alternative way to do the back extension. The next exercise are leg extensions. So we're gonna flip that whole motion around and now anchor the upper body. So find a nice bench. You're gonna lean over it so no more than your hip bone is on the bench. Grab the edge of it, and you're gonna drive those hips up or legs up towards the ground with a quick contraction. So drive up, squeeze those glutes and hold for 6 seconds. Slowly lower for 7. Touch your toes to the ground, squeeze up, hold for 6 seconds, slowly lower it back to the ground. And again, you're gonna do that one for 4 sets, following that specific rep scheme at the bottom of the page. The next exercise is the curl up. You're gonna lie back on your back on the mat. You're gonna first start, and you're welcome to, if this is uncomfortable, straighten one leg or the other. You can put your hands kind of at parade rest below your back. Take those elbows gently off the ground. Same thing as before, we wanna get rid of that minor arch in our low back. So pull the belly button down towards the ground. From here, we're gonna crunch up and hold for 6 seconds and slowly lower. Crunch up for 6 seconds, slowly lower. Crunch up, hold for 6 seconds, and slowly lower for 7 seconds. So same exact rep scheme as before, but now we're doing a curl up with each one. Like I said, you can straighten out one leg if you'd like. And if this is too difficult, you're always welcome to decrease the amount of time that you're holding up in that position and the time that you're lowering, but you work your way up to that 6-second hold and 7-second lower. Okay, the last exercise we'll be doing is the lateral torso raise. Back in the GHD, if you have access to this machine, we're gonna get in it sideways. So your right leg, if I'm on my right side, is gonna go in front. My left leg is gonna go behind me. You're gonna straighten out those hips. Let yourself relax down to the side. You're gonna squeeze your obliques, drive up, hold for 6 seconds, and slowly lower. Squeeze your obliques, hold for 6 seconds, slowly lower for 7 seconds. You're gonna do that for the rep scheme and the sets that are at the bottom of the page. Then you wanna make sure you flip over to the other side. So an alternative way to do the lateral torso raise if you don't have the GHD machine, you're gonna actually just do a side plank. So we're gonna lie on our left side or the right side. Regardless, you can make it a bit harder. If you take that right foot or the top foot and place it in front of the bottom, you're gonna make sure your elbow is right underneath the shoulder. Drive those hips up. You can take your top hand, reach up to the sky if you'd like. Try holding this position for as long as possible. So if you need about 4 sets of 1 minute or so, that's a good workout. You can also make it harder by taking the top leg up off the ground, and you're really working some of the glutes with that one. But regardless, try to do 4 sets of a sub-maximal time. So usually I would say 4 sets of 45 seconds. Each side is a pretty good workout to work up to, and that's a great way to get it in if you don't have the GHD machine. And we're done. You've just completed the Spine Resiliency back class. That's one step towards building a spine that's more resilient to the mechanical stress of flying. Keep turning back to this class as you create a consistent, proactive habit of injury prevention. Check out our Spine Resiliency Net class for a workout program dedicated to the cervical spine. For further information regarding back pain injury prevention, please reach out to your medic, PA, flight surgeon, or PT.